Hey guys, this is North back again with another video. Today's video, I'm coming to you with my top 10 fragrances that I got from my plug here. Now, of course, I've gotten more than 10 fragrances from them. These are some of my favorites that I've gotten. They're not all of my favorites, but I just wanted to give you 10 just to give you an idea of just the type of fragrances that I come upon, you know, while living here. I feel like I have its pros and cons, and one of the pros here being like into fragrances is that I can find a lot of like discontinued or hard to find fragrances, and also testers that generally people aren't able to get hold of. So let's go ahead and get it going. They're not in any particular order. I'm just going to rattle through them and just talk briefly about the notes, nothing in any detail, so I don't hold you too much. So my top 10 favorite pickups from my fragrance plug or plugs. Generally, when I go down to these places, I pretty much only mess with maybe like 2 or 3 guys. Generally, really only like 1 or 2. So most of them come from these guys. The first one I want to mention is from the house of Issey Miyake, and this one is the discontinued Yuzu Pour Homme. All right, Pour Homme Yuzu. Now this one is a discontinued fragrance. I don't know when it was discontinued, but it was something that I really was into because I've never tasted the fruit of yuzu, but I like yuzu candy, and I used to really be into Japanese culture and stuff like that. So this one has yuzu, citron, mandarin orange, and vetiver. And this is a very good summer scent. It seems like it's still available for going for like $150 or something like that, but I paid under $30 for this at the time. This was a fragrance that I thought that I would never find, so I found a tester bottle of it. I thought that was cool, so that's why this one is on my list of top 10 fragrances I got from my plug. Moving on. The next fragrance is from the house of Guerlain, and this one is from the Aqua Allegoria collection, and this one is Pamplelune. I recently got this one from my guy, and this is the original first formulation of it. Now this is a citrus scent, and so I got a tester, and if you can see on this, it's not like the actual top. It has like some corkscrew, but anyways, I've been wanting to get this one for a long time for my summer rotation. I just never pulled the trigger on it. I don't know why, but my guy came up with this, and I got this for less than $20. This Pamplelune, this one was released in 1999. This one has grapefruit, bergamot, Petitgrain, Neroli, Patchouli, and Vanilla. And this one is a great realistic citrus grapefruit scent. The only thing about this one that I got, it still smells good, but because of the what's the word? Because it's kind of old. Who knows how it was kept, but the top notes I don't think are as fresh as they would be had I bought a brand new bottle. But once it settles down, it becomes, you know, what I'm used to, and it's great. It's not spoiled, but it seems like the top notes are not as fresh as they probably used to be. So let's keep it moving. The next fragrance is from the house of Tom Ford, and this one is probably my favorite from the private blends. I don't even think I own any regular designer Tom Fords, but this one is Vert the Incense. I got this for a silly deal. Most of them are discontinued. This one is discontinued, but it's not. I don't think it's extremely hard to find. It was released in 2016. This one has resins, pine, incense, fir balsam, heliotrope, and it's just a great, like, incensey, slightly sweet, corniferous incense fragrance. It's just great. I love this one. It's my favorite. It's got to be my favorite Tom Ford right now. I just love it. There aren't many things that smell like this, and so I got it for a steal. I don't know if I would pay retail for it, but I got it. I didn't get a tester. I got this brand new in the box, and I maybe paid like $140 or something for it. And you know, they usually go for more than 200 to 50 mLs. So that one was Vert the Incense, my favorite Tom Ford. Moving on. The next fragrance is from the private line of PRADA, and this one is MARIENBAD. I remember someone on Instagram posting about this, and I wanted to check it out. When I saw the notes, and they had a couple animalic notes on it, I wanted to check it out. I smelled it in the store, and then I was thinking, how could I get a bottle, because they're quite expensive retail. They're like 300 retail, and I was able to get from my plug a tester bottle of it. It says tester on the back. I doubt that you can see that, so it says tester here. I got a tester bottle of this for less than $100, and I'm upset because I've talked in a couple of my videos about a fire that happened at the souk here, and so that destroyed a lot of those places that were normally carrying the fragrances, and where they had these, they're all gone now. Nobody has the testers of these. I wish I had bought a second bottle of this, even though I haven't gone through it. I really love this scent. Now, some of the notes on it are bergamot, rose, civet, leather, and olibanum, and it's just, to me, it's just great perfumery in a bottle. It's hard to describe. It's slightly animalic, it's slightly sweet. Like I said before, it's completely unisex, so a man or a woman could pull this one off. It's not too animalic. I think this is the best offering from the line. When I make purchases now, only thing I'm trying to do is get what's the best, in my opinion, from the particular house. If they happen to have like 2 or 3 that I love, then I'll pick that up. But other than that, I just want that one. And PRADA MARIENBAD, I think, is the best from that line of the private line of PRADA. Let's keep it moving. The next fragrance is from the house of Bulgari. If you know me, you should already know what it is. And this one is Cobra. This is another incense based fragrance. This is another one that I was lucky enough to come on a tester bottle of it. Only one guy had it, as I've said. I picked it up. It was briefly discontinued, I guess was the word, and then they recently just re-released them, so they came out with a new marketing campaign and everything for this one and another bottle. So this is the original formulation. I don't know if they've reformulated it or not, but this one is one of my favorite incense based fragrances. This one has geranium, olibanum, and oud. I believe you don't really get oud from this, but you do get like the piney frankincense sort of note, and then you get a rosy type of scent, which I assume comes from the geranium. But this I absolutely love. I love this fragrance. It's the only one from the Bulgari line that I'm really in love with. I've had a number of them, and most of them I've sold, because this is the only one to me that's worth the money. So if you're into incense based fragrances, you should definitely try to sample this. And this was one of the greatest come ups that I could find, for sure, because nobody else has it. Let's keep it moving. The next fragrance I want to mention is from the house of Guerlain, and this one is another tester bottle. This one is Bose d'Harmonie. Now, as far as the private line of Guerlain, these La Material collection ones, these are the new bottles, and this is the 200 ml tester. On the inside of it, it actually says tester. And so my plug, he was able to get this in. He actually got it in from Dubai, some guy in Dubai, and it's impossible to get tester bottles of these in general. These don't even go on discounters, so you know they're not selling the tester bottles. I was able to come up on this. The original release date of Bose d'Harmonie was 2006. Some of the notes on it are incense, iris, benzoin, and patchouli. And this one is top 1 or 2 benzoin based fragrance that's out there. I wasn't on it at first because these Guerlains, they're not huge projectors, but I've matured a little bit in my taste, and I'm trying to move away from trying to get like big, just appreciate normal longevity perfumes. And so I decided to get it. My guy said he could get this one in the tester, which I ended up, it was pricey, but all of these are pricey, but I got a 200 ml for essentially the price of 100 ml. And let's keep it moving. The last 4 fragrances I'm going to mention are going to be 2 from one house, 2 from another house. The first house I want to talk about is the house of AMOUAGE, and this one is Gold Woman, but this one is the Extrait de Parfum. So the extraits are extremely hard to come across. Even on the website, a lot of times they're sold out, but even the retail price of them are, AMOUAGE is already expensive, and so the extraits are even more expensive. They're about almost double the price. So Gold Woman was originally released in 1983. It is the first fragrance from the brand. So it's basically the flagship fragrance from the brand. And some of the notes on this one are lily of the valley, incense, civet, musk, cedar, oak moss. This is supposed to be categorized in a floral aldehydic genre, and I just really wanted to pick it up. It was between this one, the original Eau de Parfum, and the men's, and I've really been getting into the AMOUAGE women's line, and so please don't sleep on those. Definitely test those out. There's a lot of good ones in there. My favorite AMOUAGE is from that line, and that one is Jubilation 25. I got that one for a great deal, but I didn't get it from one of my plugs, so that's why it's not on this list. Moving on. And the last fragrance from the house of AMOUAGE that I'll mention is Lyric Woman. And again, this one is the Extrait de Parfum. The Extrait, this one is one of the most current formulations of it. I did have one that was older, but I prefer the smell of this one, so I sold the other one. Now this one, Lyric Woman Extrait, was both of them were released at the same time, 2008. The best thing about the extraits from the AMOUAGE line is that from Eau de Parfum to Extrait, the notes don't stay the same. They are true extraits. They're just higher concentration of the same thing. Some of the notes are cardamom, rose, geranium, incense, tonka bean, oak moss, and vetiver. This is a great rose scent. I still have to try them like next to each other. I'm not sure which one I enjoy more. I've heard reviewers, especially male reviewers, talk about how they think that the women's one is more masculine, like it basically the roles were reversed on them. I don't find the men's one to be masculine, but I can see what they're saying. That's a little bit more fun and uplifting, and this one is darker and a little bit more resinous on it at all, but you get that resinous type of feel with the rose. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. The last two fragrances are from the house of Chanel. Now these are both from the Les exclusive lines. They're both testers that I was able to get from my plugs. Guerlain and Chanel are in the same boat, whereas it's extremely hard to find them discounted, especially the exclusive lines. It's even harder to find testers of them. So I got a tester bottle of both of these. The first one I want to talk about is Eau de Cologne. So it's a 200 ml Eau de Cologne concentration. On the back it has the tester on here, and the reason I wanted this one is that when it started getting warm and I started getting in my mode of what am I into for the summer. Of course I love my citruses, but I'm always trying to up the level of getting better elite citrus scents, even though they don't last that long. But it's one of my favorite things to do. They're the favorite things to have because they're so refreshing and uplifting. And if you're going to get an Eau de Cologne, especially the Chanel, you need 200 ml. So I got 200 ml. That's my thing now. Like I got the Dior Homme Cologne. I ended up getting a 200 ml of that, so I can have like less bottles but more juice of it, because you go through a lot of it, and there's not that much difference to justify having like 30 different Eau de Cologne style fragrances. This one, if I didn't say, was released in 2007. The notes on this one are lemon, bergamot, citrus, neroli, petitgrain, musk, and tonka bean. And what separates this from other ones is the fact that it has that vanilla and tonka bean, musk and tonka bean in it. And so when it dries down, if you're able to catch the dry down, it sets it apart from other Eau de Cologne styles that are citrus and neroli and petitgrain based. So when I asked my guy if he could get this one after I got the one that I'm going to mention last, when he came in with it for the price, I went on ahead and picked it up. Moving on. And the last fragrance I want to mention is again from the house of Chanel, and this is number 22. This one I just talked about in my aldehydes video. This is my favorite Chanel fragrance in the Les exclusive line. Again, this is another tester bottle. This again was one that when he showed me that he could get this one in, I told him I have to have this one. I love Chanel number 22. The Eau de Parfum was released in 2016. Some of the notes are aldehydes, lily of the valley, ylang ylang, vanilla, and vetiver. And I just love this scent. There's not much that I could say about it. Let me know what you think about Chanel number 22, if you like it or if you don't like it. But it's my favorite exclusive. I don't have to have another one. Meaning I want to test some of the other ones, but I wouldn't if he had a bunch of other 200 ml bottles, I wouldn't feel like it was worth it. I'd rather have the 75 ml, but with the eau de cologne you need the 22 you need the 200 ml. But with this one, only reason I got the 200 ml is because I love it so much, and it's just a great, beautiful, uplifting scent. For me, I like it more in the springtime. I think it can be worn in the summertime as well, but that's pretty much it. These last two, actually all of them, that's why I mentioned them, but especially like the last 4 or 5 were worth making this video, because these plugs where I go have really come through with some things that are extremely hard to find and hard to get. Most of the things that I get from this, because there's a lot of shops down there and I only mess with a few of them, and these guys get things in that nobody else has. And so that's why I wanted to just at least talk about that briefly on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what are some of, if you have a fragrance plugs, let me know some of the things that you've come up on that were extremely hard to find, or you got for a great price, or were tester bottles. So again, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.